We're live. Fucker.
I've earned that a bunch of times.
Yeah, you have. Corey does this to me all the time, where I'll be sitting there merrily talking along and doing other shit, and we're live now. So it's kind of a thing. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to yeah, it says we're live, but I don't. Yeah, we got nobody watching us. What the? Oh, there's one. There's one. Okay.
We're real. It's happening. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep
feeding your face. Yeah. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. This is usually the part where we wait till somebody laughs before we do some the intro theme thing. But I'm just gonna kind of roll with it right now and see what goes. How will we know if Corey is laughing? Because why would I laugh if Corey's not here to say anything funny? I don't know. Wait, how about that? Oh wait, I should probably change that back. Where's the?
Got it.
Okay, I'm glad you know what's going on around here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to #Coffee. I'm Greg. That's Corey over there, the guy with the beard and the chewy face going on.
Yeah, I was hungry.
That's perfectly acceptable. Okay, so but before we get to anything else, the other day we talked over something extraordinary, and I have felt bad about it ever since. So before we get any further into the show,
100%.
Let us introduce you to Amanda Gorman.
Yeah, this is my gratitude for this morning too, because holy crap.
Here we go.
Mr. President, Dr. Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emhoff, Americans, and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. In the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny Black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promised glade, the hill we climb, if only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain: if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from my bronze pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the West. We will rise from the wind-swept Northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
I'm a split second from ending the show. I'm not going to, and you're still muted. But like, mic drop, GTFO.
Yeah, I'm
One
so
thing-
sorry that we talked over that the other day. We had no idea
We didn't even know
that
it was
that was
happening.
even happening. So,
But yeah, I've went back and watched it again as well. Because I didn't with Babs. It just, whew.
so Corey,
Yeah.
like our new president, Amanda has a speech impediment and auditory processing
really?
issues from birth. Yeah, and she's worked for years to overcome them.
Dumb.
Are you crying on the internet?
No.
Because I am.
That was when Baz and I were watching the Biden's inauguration speech. He finishes his speech, and I paused it on YouTube. I turned to her and said, "Guess what?" She said, "What? Hear any motherfucking stutters?" Nope. Anyway, she laughed. It was funny. One thing before we go any farther, for anybody who likes science fiction and anybody who likes that poem, you absolutely categorically, this is like, it's not even I'm not suggesting, I'm telling you, I waited too long to read this. Don't wait too long to read this. There's actually a few of them now. They're short stories. It's called Binti. Some of the best, most original, fantastic, science fiction that I've ever read. And the second that lady got up to start doing her poem, like, holy shit, that's Binti. And it's really, really good. Anyone, even if you don't like science fiction, you will absolutely love these stories. They're deeply, deeply iconic. And just they're magical. So and you will see her face every single time that the character speaks. So anyway,
Nice.
so yeah.
So good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm concerned it's 48 hours. The president has not insulted anybody on Twitter yet. I don't know how to deal with that.
Can I just say, like, I'm really grateful for the fucking clownish Republicans who are trying to find ways to criticize Biden right now. Like, you guys are fucking terrible.
And shout out to Ted Cruz, who apparently
Wow.
maybe thought that the Paris climate accords were about the citizens of Paris.
Are you serious?
Yeah, AOC smacked him down, so I don't have to.
Oh.
But it appears the president's more concerned with the citizens of Paris than the citizens of America by signing on to what?
Well, and here's the problem.
Maybe Ted Cruz, meet me at camera one. Maybe he's concerned about the million plus Texas residents who live within a few miles of the Gulf Coast.
I think we're missing the deeper point. Ted Cruz fucking knows that. He's trying to be Trump. He knows that his constituents are dumb as rocks, and whatever he puts out there becomes a meme in that weird I'll believe anything culture. It's all on purpose because he fucking knows. Of course he knows. He's not a stupid person. He's just genuinely evil, right? So he's like, hey, can I do a big lie? And I mean, his big lie is pathetic.
Jen Rakita for the win.
Yeah, another show over moment. Exactly.
Hey, Melanie, it's good to see you. I hope things are all well for you up there on the South Atlantic coast. Can't stay long. Thankful that we can wake up and not worry about what got tweeted. Right?
Yeah. Kicking off Twitter was like it's such an amazing public service.
2 straight days, and I'm sure another one will happen today. 2 straight days with a White House press briefing.
What?
Where
what even are those?
Answered questions and did not make fun of the reporters by calling them stupid or ugly.
Oh God!
I mean,
just like, come on, man.
So Corey and I have been thinking about what happens next with our show. Okay, and I suggested that maybe on Fridays we come on and we do a reverse Amy Siskind list, all the things that have been switched back on and repaired or are being worked on that were damaged in the last 4 years. And we got a pretty good start to that already. First of all, within an hour of arriving at the White House, the whitehouse.gov Spanish language website was put back up. Okay. By the end of the day yesterday, when you send an email to the White House and you request contact in return, the contact form now includes a box for your preferred pronouns. He, she, they, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, geez, what else? I saw and I have it pulled up to kind of go over the bullet points of it. Scott Hicks, who's an immigration attorney and a conservative Christian immigration attorney who has been horrified by what's happened in the last 4 years. We've followed him. We've posted a lot of his stuff on So Local Live. I would love to get him on the show. I don't know if he would do that, but he did he basically did a review of the upcoming immigration legislation that President Biden, I think that's the first time I've said that on the show, that President Biden is now working toward. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Just so many other things are beginning to change in a way that isn't destructive.
Yeah.
That's a weird little story. Ted's upset about the sleeping conditions of the National Guard, the ones that are there.
Yeah, I saw that.
But that's been corrected today, by the way. That there was the Capitol Police moved them out. Everybody raised hell. They moved them back in. And frankly, it was kind of a shameful thing.
Fine, but like he didn't care about
Right.
it 2 days ago.
Like Ted Cruz, right? Yeah,
Yeah, like
they're
it just
only there because of shit that you said, Ted. So-
Exactly. Thank you for trying to start an insurrection. You're worried about the National Guard now? Like that's fucking adorable.
Also, one of the ridiculous hate-filled things that I want to mention real quickly, there was a video going around the view of the National Guard from the motorcade, and some of them had their backs to the president, and there was some sort of thing going around. This is the National Guard showing disrespect for the president.
They
But,
always do that.
They face outward toward the fucking threat, you dummies. That's that's their job. There was one unit that wasn't turned away. Guess why? Groups of 100 to 200 men are ordered by their individual officers and NCOs when to turn and face, and they just hadn't gotten there yet, that one group. But all these guardsmen with their backs to the motorcade, where's the threat going to come from? Really aggravating.
Hey, Adele just bought Benti. It's Binti with two eyes, Binti.
Right.
But yeah, you're gonna love it. I can't wait to hear about it. I actually bought. I think there's 3 of them. I hope there's more, frankly, because I'm gonna read every single one of them. But it's good. It's good stuff.
How about that? Paris Climate Accords back on. Civil rights for transgender people restored. Already done.
Yeah, it turns out when you govern by executive order, the next president can come and fucking beat your shit up.
Yep.
Which I'm here for.
As a lifelong immigration professional, Jen says, I am beyond thrilled. Biden has already removed the Muslim ban. I'm looking forward to everything he plans to do, which will be a huge help to all immigrants. And by the way, I want to go over that Scott Hicks review of the plan because it's astonishing, the depth and scope of it. And yeah. All right.
Is anyone else?
What?
Is anyone else really emotionally drained, or is it just me? I went to the Publix to pick some stuff up yesterday, and I sat in the parking lot for like probably 20 minutes. Just like I listened to like 10 minutes of news, and it wasn't even bad. It was like good news, like it's like everything we've been talking about now. And I was just like,
That's what it was like, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of.
I'm okay. I'm relaxed and relieved. The world feels lighter, and I know there's a lot of work to do. I'm not being unrealistic in that regard, but I know I feel good. I feel
good. I'm glad.
Able to focus on stuff other than my friends being killed and maimed and tortured and destroyed and discriminated against and marginalized. It'll still happen because I sat down. Mishi had never watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And we watched Fellowship of the Ring yesterday, so we got her a third of the way through it.
Awesome.
And I was remembering that right before the election, how many Lord of the Rings memes, were making the rounds, little bits of Lord of the Rings that were relevant to what we're going through. I wish Frodo says, "I wish none of this had ever happened," and Gandalf tells him, "Well, nobody ever does. We're born in the moment we're born in, and we can only do." What matters is what we do with the time we have. And I feel like this has kind of been our moment for that in our lives. But anyway, I was just thinking about after they destroyed the ring and threw it into Mount Doom. The last part of the Lord of the Rings is about the scouring of the Shire. It's about returning to your home and rescuing your home from all the awful things that have happened. And, we've won a national election. We have the House, the Senate, and the White House. In this analogy, the Shire is Florida. And we have a lot of work to do on our local and state elections. So let's rest up. Let's be inspired. Let's take our ideas and our hopes from everything we're seeing happen at the national level, and let's bring that home. Let's bring that home and in 22 turn things around here. That would be good.
Yep.
That would be good. Yeah, good tired. That's a good description of it, Diane. I'm good tired. Peaceful and relaxed tired, sleeping better, adrenaline is gone. Yeah. But I want us all to be aware that there's a trauma response that the next time things even look like they might get bad, we might get all hunched up in our shoulders and be that's what PTSD and trauma response are like for many people. So, all right, let's talk about immigration, Corey.
Okay.
Scott Hicks, immigration attorney. He had a chance to look through the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021. This is all stuff from the fact sheet. So and there's a lot here, but I'm going to go through it and tell me when you get tired of it. One, undocumented people can now apply for temporary legal status. After 5 years, they can become permanent residents, provided no criminal or national security issues, and they have paid taxes. If you're here illegally now, you can apply for temporary legal status. That alone would be an unbelievable thing. 2, Dreamers, TPS households, and certain immigrant farm workers can apply immediately for green cards. 3, once you have a green card, you can apply for citizenship after 3 years. 4, the cutoff date for the above as being physically present in the United States is on or before January 1st, 2021. So you remember last year, all those people we deported, they can now come back. People who were deported on or after January 20th, 2017, who were physically present in the United States for 3 years before they were removed, can now have that presence requirement waived. So those people that were deported in the last 3 years can now make their application to come back. Okay?
I would love for I'd love for Stephen Miller, and I know this is, against family policy, but to get punched in the face. but in the peaceful version of that, to just have to just watch, hey, how you tried to be, a dick and kick all these people out? Well, we just invited them all back because we ain't dicks.
Right. The statute will change the word alien to non-citizen. A nomenclature change. It's as simple as that. U.S. Citizenship Act review of Part 2. 1, family-based immigration reformed by clearing backlogs, eliminating lengthy wait times, increasing per-country caps, eliminating the 3 and 10-year bars, and seeks to protect Filipinos and families who fought with us in World War II. Allows immigrants with an approved family-based petition to come to the United States while they wait for their green cards to become available. Okay? Part 3, diversity visas increased to 80,000. No future bans based on religion. They're going to say in the future we can never ban a religion from immigrating or attempting to immigrate to the United States. Awesome. Increased funding to state and local governments and organizations to help immigrants with ESL and citizenship. This is the people that teach folks enough English that they can take the citizenship test. My mom is involved in a program through local Catholic church that does that, and we're going to increase funding for those efforts now. Part 4, employment-based issues, clears visa backlog, reduces wait times, eliminates per-country caps, encourages students with STEM degrees to more easily stay, and H-1B dependents can now get work authorization and their children will not age out. Someone comes here on an H-1B, their partner, their spouse cannot necessarily work here. They will now automatically get work authorization so they can work as well. Part 5, commission involving labor, employment, and civil rights organizations to recommend improvements to the employment verification system. They're going to get an outside commission involved to help them sort out how to make better the employment verification system. U-Visa relief expanded for serious labor violations and workers who cooperate with worker protection agencies, protection for victims of workforce retaliation, increased penalties on employers who violate labor laws. As we have said all along, we know that companies like Smithfield actually advertise in Guatemala and Honduras and Mexico to encourage people to come here illegally. Then they put them to work and they don't pay them adequately and they don't house them adequately. And when they complain and organize, they are turned over to immigration authorities. So that little block right there begins to address the problem where we haven't been punishing the people who employ these people. We've only been punishing these people, sort of like how we've addressed prostitution over the decades. Part 6, border matters, increased technology use to ID contraband, funding to increase POE infrastructure to process asylum applicants, funding for training and continued ed for agents for officer safety and professionalism, creates a border community stakeholders advisory committee. Again, this is going to be accountability to the community where these things happen by federal agencies. More special agents to investigate misconduct among agents, review the DHS authority to waive environmental and state and federal laws for building of barriers and walls, because we've had several very sensitive areas of the border get destroyed to put up this fucking wall. DHS and HHS and NGO experts will develop guidelines and protocols for standards of care for individuals, families, and children in Customs and Border Patrol custody. Expand the ability to prosecute smuggling and trafficking networks exploiting migrants. Expand transnational anti-gang task force units in Central America. Part 7. This is the thing that changed when the caravan thing started. Day one, the Trump administration canceled a huge amount of assistance that was designed to stop those caravans from happening. It was better to help them down there than it was to help them at the border. So Part 7 increases assistance to El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. 2, it creates designated processing centers throughout Central America for people to register and process displaced people for refugee status and resettlement. Rather than wait for them to get right to the border, we're going to start doing the processing of those applications where those folks are. So, and whether or not we are concerned about the danger to our border, it's dangerous for these people to make this journey from the places they start off all the way up through Mexico and to our border. That is a deadly dangerous thing to undertake. By increasing the assistance in place, we can maybe keep some people from dying. And isn't that a good thing? Reinstates the Central American Minors Program to reunite children with U.S. relatives. Creates a Central America Family Reunification Parole Program to reunite families quickly who have approved family sponsorships here. Part 8, Immigration Court expands family case management, reduces backlog, expanded training for immigration judges, gives judges and adjudicators discretion to review cases and grant relief to deserving individuals, meaning they're not stuck with the minimum sentencing guideline kind of bullshit. Funding for legal orientation programs and counsel for children, vulnerable individuals, and others when necessary. We actually had 4- and 5-year-old children appearing before an immigration judge who could not speak English and could not understand, and they did not have legal counsel. This fixes that. Funding to school districts that educate unaccompanied children. When those kids do come here, they're going to be put in school, not in a fucking cage. Part 9 eliminates the 1-year deadline rule for applying for asylum. Funding to reduce asylum applicant backlog. Increase protections for UT and VAWA. I'm not sure what those are. Visa cap raised to 30,000 and expanded protection for foreign nationals assisting U.S. troops. This is just immigration.
Yeah. And what's the hey Greg, what day is it?
It's January 22nd.
Yeah, that's 48 hours, motherfuckers. It's 48 hours. Just like buckle up. Like and you know, maybe this is it. Like I feel like we've just been shouldering this ridiculous emotional burden and now it's just kind of gone. And I was like, you know, and you pushed all this stuff down, and of course, like we want to put the best possible face forward and like keep our family together and all this shit or whatever. And now I'm just like, fuck. I guess I'll go. You know,
that's why I'm crying, Jen. I can't handle all the decency. It's leaking right out of my eyeballs.
Like, anyway,
yeah, policy where cruelty is not the point. Right.
And just the basics. You know, I don't
want to let the Obama administration completely off the hook here. Go listen to the 3-part Radio Lab podcast about the border and learn that they did, in fact, they knew that people dying on their way north would discourage other people from coming. It wasn't an intended outcome, but it's something that they accounted for. They knew it was happening. But now we're going to try and stop that from happening by increasing the funding that takes care of folks down there where they are. Even if they want to come here, great, but they'll be able to apply for that asylum where they are. So they don't have to cross 3 countries and be vulnerable to predators, and I mean 2-legged predators in trucks, right, who take all their money and then shoot them, right? It's going to save lives. It's going to save lives. An immigration policy that saves lives. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, instead of actively trying to kill people. You know, it's the little things, Greg. Just the, whew. Anyway.
Yeah. I have not read that. Don't want to comment on it until I do. Do you think, though, he's sending them back because it benefits his business cronies? Because maybe that's the new acid test for whether we should do that or not. Did we sell them billions of dollars worth of weapon systems because it's good for their partners? I don't know. We'll see how that goes, I guess. We are returning to morality and decency. I hope so. Yeah. It's almost like it's a good idea to have intelligent and experienced people in charge, not the fucking My Pillow guy or the lady that was the booker for the Cartoon Network in charge of public policy. How about this? The firing of the head of Voice of America and his cadre of toadies that were turning it into a pro-Trump mouthpiece. That's a good thing. So he's fired several really heinous appointments already and is seeking to replace them. People here legally from India now have to wait 15 to 20 years for a green card due to backlogs.
Wow.
They need to fund the agencies and catch everyone up. This is actually also good for companies who have to spend millions just to keep folks in status while they wait for their green cards. Right? It's good for business, Corey. A streamlined immigration system would be good for business. How about that?
I like it.
No building should have a 45th floor anymore. No more 45s. 45 is right out. We're done with that number.
Yeah, it's a garbage number.
Yeah, I appreciate Scott Hicks for going over that going over the immigration thing. Looks like you're going to need 10 Republicans in the Senate to get on board to make that package pass. And I actually think it's possible that they'll get those votes.
Cool.
That's a little harsh on builders. I don't know. Did you see how many of them got pardoned by the president the other day? My trans friends are so relieved. I'm not talking to a lot of those, but all my friends in marginalized communities are feeling a little more secure today. Yeah, I'm calling 45 the X now. We all have that one toxic X.
You had one.
At least one. I'm sorry. Oh. Yeah, waiting for impeachment. Minority leader can go fuck a donkey. Yeah, he's trying to dictate the terms of the impeachment. And I'm like, I remember that time when the president nominated a Supreme Court justice and you wouldn't go fuck yourself or a donkey, which is Ginny's idea and probably would be more entertaining to watch.
Unless you're the donkey.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I hope that the Democrats in the Senate don't lead with civility, frankly. You want to be civil, you want unity, fucking show us, right? But this no, we'll leave fuck the open arms thing. Like, you prove to us that you're willing to do it or go fuck your actual self. Right? And come in hard. Like, they should kill the filibuster today. Like, just get it done.
McConnell needs to go bury his eggs on the beach because it's a turtle.
Because he's a turtle. I get it. Yeah.
Oh, Rubio's all about the filibuster now? Oh, okay. Sure he is.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's scared. All right. What else you got, Corey?
Nothing, dude.
Oh, wait. I got more. Can we talk about how Bernie Sanders stole the inauguration? I have some pictures to share in that regard. Is that showing up? Yeah. That's the first one I saw. Bernie in his mittens.
Mm.
Are you not? You're not amused by these?
I'm sorry. I was looking at something else. There's none of these that isn't perfect. This could have been an email.
When your grandson's violin recital is running long.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Make your uncle a plate so he doesn't have to get up.
Oh, man.
Out of town having the time of my life with a bunch of friends. There you go. I wasn't asking for a space heater. I think that might have been my favorite.
That's awesome.
asked Bernie what he brought to the inauguration after party, and he said beef and swung on Mitch McConnell. There you go. I thought you'd like this one especially well. It's the Letterkenny cast with Bernie sitting in. In Jewish yoga, this pose is called "Waiting for My Wife at Loman's." I thought I'd run through these. There you go. From The Wire, sitting out on the yard, slinging. This was pretty. This might be my new cover photo. Contrasted by all the lovely ladies in their rainbow colors, and yeah,
Bernie.
This is me. This is the best one because
It's so good.
I did this at least 3 times on Wednesday. I was sitting outside going,
Solid
great.
work.
"This is fine." Not a Bernie meme, but I really like this one. I, Joe Biden, solemnly swear to never look directly into a fucking eclipse.
I'm here for it.
Let's see. Do I have any? Oh, there you go. The radical left. There you go. That's all the Bernie memes I have on my computer right now. So, I must get rid of the share thing. There we go. All right. So what else?
There's supposed to be a launch pretty soon, but I'm not 100% sure when. They did a static fire on it yesterday on the SN9.
Oh, yeah?
Which, I think there's a really good possibility the thing just sticks a landing. You know, anything can happen, obviously, which makes this super fun. But
found out last night that the next rover is going to land in 28 days on Mars.
Yeah, that's and the ones that are still there, like still getting pictures from those is
right.
Just, it kind of shocking, but really amazing.
Yep. The next one is the Perseverance. Yeah. Perseverance rover, which is going to have a helicopter.
Yeah, right? Like, just like, hey, you want to go fly around like a drone? Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. So
yeah,
I remember watching the last rover landing, and it, it's so amazing to be able to watch them sort of in real time now and watch the mission control crowd, because that 3 minutes of terror when it comes screaming in through the Martian atmosphere, and then there's parachutes, and then there's cutaways, and there's rockets, and there's hovering, and it's incredibly crazy. So I'm excited about that. So we're less than a month away from having a brand new spanking new rover on Mars, if successful. Yeah.
Indeed.
What else?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sort of spaced out. This is my third live today already, so
I'm
like, what is happening? We did some stuff with Any Observation, which is super fun, and then we had Bonds from Prospectors on, which is like a whole freaking psychotically intense game. It's crazy.
My imagination, or did my wax get more valuable over the last week or so?
It's not.
No, I thought it looked like
no, it's not. It's not your imagination.
Oh, okay.
That did happen.
Yeah,
I think it's at like 4.2 cents or something like that.
Nice.
It'll once we see it go over 5.5 cents, that's like where it breaks out of the downtrend that it's been in for the whole crypto winter. That's where things are getting interesting. It's like legitimately won't surprise me if it triples in a month.
Wow, that'd be good, because it's showing me a value of like $200 now. So
yeah,
so it's not bad.
What would it be if wax was $1?
Oh my god, I can't even imagine. It would be thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you should just be able to. Yeah, it'll be probably tens of thousands, but we can do.
Wow. Been in Sierra Vista for 1 week now. It's beautiful. I feel freer than I have in more than a year. That's good. Fred's in his new home and happy there. Yeah, Fauci throwing subtle shade at Trump yesterday. He felt liberated. Can you imagine? Like, I know there's going to be some backlash here. How come he didn't say this then? Well, he was trying to stay in the fight, you dummies. Like he was engaged in a way that made it so he wasn't, unable to speak to us at all about anything. And he survived it. So now he's going to come out swinging. He's going to be on Rachel Maddow tonight for a live interview. And by the way, they requested an interview. They got it within minutes. right? So nobody
Yeah.
at the White House is keeping him from speaking anymore. This is a really, really good sign. And I know things are bad. I mean, I know things in the pandemic are bad, but the idea that they're just letting the scientists speak directly to us and not, trying to benefit their stockholders and friends, I think it's important. I think this is a good moment for us. So,
Indeed.
you know what? I'm fine if we want to wrap up a little bit early. I did have one last story that I wanted to cover.
Okay.
I'm going to put the link in here. And I want to thank those of you who sent this to me, the dozens of you who sent me this link. Oklahoma legislator wants to create an official Bigfoot hunting season in the state of Oklahoma. I have a problem with this.
Okay.
We don't know how many there are. We don't know if they're endangered. We don't know what their range is. We don't know what they're right. You don't start a hunting season for an animal that you don't fully understand.
Right. I mean, that's just science, obviously.
Exactly. That's exactly how conservation science works. You know why? Like if you live in Florida and you have a hunting license, you can only cull so many deer per season. Why? Because we know how many of them there are, how many of them the land can support, how many need to be culled to keep that support viable so we don't have an overpopulation of deer where they starve to death. And until you really understand the biology of the animal in question, having a hunting season is terribly irresponsible, and that guy should be ashamed of himself. As ashamed of that as he is of his horrendous legislation on abortion issues, because he's that wingnut too. But yeah, he's actually taking up state legislative time in Oklahoma, where Bigfoot hunting season is clearly the biggest problem they have in Oklahoma. It's not a good time for this. So, yeah.
Well, now we know.
So I guess that means that Sasquatch legislation is real. We love you guys.